What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. Marc Lamont Hill versus Judge Joe Brown, right? Had a conversation about, the Bill Cosby situation. And Marc Lamont Hill gets it legally, but once again, just if it's a black man or something about that has to do with black masculinity, it's one of those things. What I mean by that is this. So, Marc Lamont Hill, we're going to go back to it's all about women and protecting women. But Marc Lamont Hill, the same person that took a dump on Sister Frances Cress Wilson right after she died. So the idea of it's about women, that was the most egregious offense you can is when somebody just dies, you diss them. So the women thing, I don't buy it because of that. But he also lost his job speaking up for Palestine, right? But he just happens, for some odd reason, when it comes to black men, it's time to go in, right? So it's like, oh, okay, this is what we doing. Judge Joe Brown, is talking to him about what's going on, the legalities of the situation. And Marc Lamont Hill is trying to, he's not exonerated. They just threw out the case. He still could be a sexual predator and this, that, and the third. And it's like, and Judge Joe Brown is talking to him about, I was around in the, 60s, 70s, 80s, that, people were using drugs. And just because you provide drugs at a party, or even in the 90s, you provide drugs somewhere, that doesn't mean you're a sexual predator. Now, I get there are people who use drugs to do that, but those two things don't, it's not like he was a sex trafficker or something like that. But Marc Lamont Hill just can't see that. And I'm going to have a whole video about groupies coming out soon after this one. So, personally, I'm looking at Judge Joe Brown like, with all respect, I don't even disrespect Marc Lamont Hill, but I think he's highly passive aggressive and disingenuous. Because then, I get a picture of him to make the thumbnail, and what do I see? Him talking about the Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat verses. And what are the tweets? It's nice to see Bobby Brown sober. Passive aggressive this. What are the tweets about Keith Sweat? Oh, he a drunk. Okay. So you got an issue with black men, bro. So you can't see anything outside of black men got to be the villain. So that's but you are a black man, right? So coming from you, it's, it's coming from a different place. Nah, not really. No, it's just a narrative. But even with Judge Joe Brown, he was, insinuating, this is disturbing what he's saying. Is it disturbing that a man is saying that there are women who are groupies who hang around rich, famous and powerful men, and they exchange their sex for, his money, his time, or clout? That's really, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. He brought it up multiple times. So all of a sudden people are like, what? Now, here's the interesting part about this, to me. And this is, and I wish they would have talked a little bit longer. But Judge Joe Brown brought up a point where just because somebody supplies, you alcohol or drugs, that doesn't mean you have to take it. It's not their fault if you take it. If you go to a liquor store and you buy alcohol and you get drunk and you get in an accident, it's not the liquor company's fault. You buy cigarettes, they warned you, what cigarettes could do. You get sick, that's not the tobacco company's fault. You taking drugs, you know what that does? Then that's not the person who brought the drugs' fault. Because you a willing participant. You didn't get, nobody slipped anything into your drink or caught you off guard or nothing like that. No, you actually actively made that decision with a sober mind. And you know, you're responsible for that. So what caught me off guard was Marc Lamont seemed to kind of like try to veer off of that. Like, yeah, you responsible for that, but what? But what? And why I had to add that, because it's funny how people forget all of these parties they talk about now that are no different than the parties they were having in the 80s, the 70s, and the 60s, where it's a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol, and a lot of, let's just say, you know, a lot of thought behavior. But all of us, but the very thing that they had the conversation about Bill Cosby about is the very thing that is, pre-pandemic, that pretty much been going on since Freaknik every weekend. So to me, I'm like, Judge Joe Brown is just telling you what's been going on, and you know it. You go out, you date people, you buy them alcohol. Some people are potheads, y'all smoke together. Some people do. So at some point, you're going to turn around 10, 20 years together. We got high, he had moon rocks, and I didn't want to smoke them, but I was smoking them, and I got high, we did this, and I was drunk, and we did this, and like, stop, you tripping. But excuse me on that. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.